Hey there, today is December 17th. Can you believe this? This much of the year is already gone. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it's almost over and we're getting into 2008. Every year that comes, it comes along, it's like it's getting more and more intense. Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you about today in our update, and as you know, I'm doing these updates to give you tips and ideas that will help you through your emotional clearing so that you can recode your DNA and complete your ascension process. And I wanted to do something that I thought would be helpful based on the last two updates, which were about dealing with unjustified anger, which is a major block for a lot of people right now, and also venting and expressing your pain and anger. So the subject then obviously is agreements. I talked about them. You need to have agreements to be able to do these things with other people, safe other people. But how you make them safe is by these agreements, because people don't always know what they need to do to be a safe listener in dealing with the pain and the anger and all that good stuff. So, talking about the venter, these are agreements that the venter needs to have in place before, in a relationship before they start to vent to their partner. Number one, they agree to ask if it is a good time to vent or process, because you don't want to run in and when somebody's in the middle of something, like John's going to be in the middle of doing bookkeeping work, and it would have been unfair and disrespectful if I ran in there and go, stop everything, I need to vent. I would go in and I would say, is this a good time? And if it's not, he would let me know when, and I'd come back and we'll do it later. Because honestly, when I go, when I start to vent, I want to be able to get it all done. I don't want to be stopped or interrupted or him to get angry and say, well, you know what, I was in the middle of something. See, I don't want to have any of that going on. So I just ask ahead of time to make sure that this is a good time, and they will really pay attention. The other one is that you agree to tell them whether or not you want feedback. Because if you just want to vent, you need to be clear about that, because not everybody is they can't read your mind, and they're not supposed to be reading your mind. You're supposed to let them know whether you want feedback, and feedback means them giving you ideas or helping you see the mirror and things like that. Well, if you're not ready for that, then just say, I want to vent, and I'm not ready for feedback. That, on the other side, is helpful to people like me, who's a recovering caretaker, rescuer, fixer, because I will immediately go into, oh, there's pain, I got to fix it. I got to stop it. So if you tell me ahead of time that you don't want any kind of feedback, then I can just sit back and relax and know I don't have to jump into that role. It's very, very helpful to know. For the listener, the agreements would be that they agree to hear you without, you agree to hear the other person, the venter, without fixing or making it better if they ask for no feedback. The other one is that if it is about you, you agree not to defend yourself, not to jump in and start defending. Well, but I did it because, and this is especially true when it's unjustified anger the other person is expressing, because usually, you have a very good reason for what you did, but it does not in any way, stop them from having anger around it. It's just the anger is a natural reaction. Like the example I gave in the other update about my daughter. When I moved to LA, she had anger over me leaving her. Now I had justifiable reasons. I had to go out there for work and and make a living, But that doesn't take away her anger. She still felt the anger over being left behind. So if I got in and started justifying my reasons, see, I invalidate her pain, and then I add more pain, because every time you invalidate, you add another layer of pain to the pain that they already have. So you agree not to defend. Now, let's take this a step further. We've got all these agreements in place, and let's take, for example, this is a vent about you, and you had a justified reason for what you did. When do you get to tell your side of the story so that they won't be mad at you anymore? You don't tell your side until they ask. See, if you jump in and you do it ahead of time, you invalidate their vent. But what if they take a week, 2 weeks, a month, a year? Well, that's how long it takes. The thing is, it doesn't matter until they ask. You are basically invalidating and adding more pain and causing the cycle of conflict to continue. So you've got to be willing to wait, ask their soul to help them see, you know, and get to the point where they can finally ask you for your perspective. If you do a really good job of validating their pain, the chances are it will come a lot faster, because there's something about when you validate the pain and you speak to the pain. Maybe that'll be the subject of my next update, how to speak to the pain. You are enabling that individual to release the pain. They are able, it's like their inner child goes in and finds it, and it releases it. And then as soon as they feel released, i.e. validated, they then turn around and can hear your side of the story and validate your position. But at that point, once you're validated too, the whole conflict ends. It's over. You don't have to go through it again. They don't bring it up the next year, the year after year after, the year after that. So, once again, to recap, the agreements for the venter: to agree to ask if this is a good time to vent. Number 2, to agree to say whether or not you want feedback. For the listener, that you agree to listen without fixing or rescuing if they don't ask for it. And also that you agree to listen without defending if the vent is about you. So the rest of the agreements, there's a lot more agreements, but these are some basics, is in the agreements booklet, which is the 7th key of the 7 keys of compassion booklets. There are 7 of them. Oh, 7 of them. So hopefully this will help you. You can order that from our website. And that's it for today. Have a great one. Let me know if this is helpful. I really appreciate that. I might be putting these on YouTube. Take care. Bye.